can't give what you don't have. When you don't have self-love filled within yourselves, you can't be able to pour it out to the people around you. Every change that you want requires a new version of you. It's the high time you exit your excuse, your complaint, and your comparison era. Hello and welcome to this channel. My name is Dorothy Museo.
Come you, I have no regrets, yeah, I'll tattle my chest. I'll never forget what it's like to be in debt. Been stabbed in the back bed, I'll show you what happens. Pass me the mic and I'll show you without.
When the Bible in Matthew chapter 6 verse 33 talks about seeking first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all these things shall follow, it basically means seeking God literally in everything. In everything that you do. Seeking God means seeking God with pure heart and with pure intentions, because God knows our intentions. And seeking God in an unconditional way, not seeking God in form of you want to sign a contract with him, like, God, I'm coming to you so that you can do this to me. Then when you do this to me, I can do this. You're not going to sign a contract. It means seeking God in everything. Like when you seek God, it gives you guidance in everything. God sees the deepest of our intentions. When you seek Him, when you don't have pure intentions, it's like you want to misuse God. Like you are seeking God for that. You are seeking God for what you gain for that short period of time, and then you're going to leave Him. God may not give you that thing at the moment. He may give you so that next time when you are in a trouble, you may remember that, okay, God helped me, and you come back to Him. But if you don't seek Him with pure heart, then He may not provide that to you. In life, most of the time we get to stages where we need some changes or we need some things to happen in our lives. And sometimes we find ourselves stuck. We want something, we need some change, but we find ourselves stagnating in one point for so long. Probably because we don't realize that we need to change some aspects of life. Any change that we need requires a new version of us. Probably what you're looking for, what you're praying for, what you're wishing for is also looking for you. But it might be looking for a version of you that currently does not exist. A version of you that can be attained by you working on your current self, on so many aspects of your life, from personal to physical to spiritual aspects, so that you can be able to be in a better position to accommodate what you're looking for. Basically, for a change to occur in your life, you must first be willing to change yourself. And the first step of changing is the realization that you need to change. When you've realized you need to change, then that is the first step towards you becoming a better version, and a version that can be able to accommodate what you want or what you're wishing for. Working on yourself is a choice, because change is uncomfortable. And if you need to work on yourself and to become a better person or a better version of you, then you need to work on yourself in many aspects. And that is uncomfortable. Being in a comfort zone is very peaceful and very soothing to the soul, but nothing positive or nothing good comes from it. When we choose not to change ourselves, we'll remain in the older versions of ourselves that is so full of excuses, that is so full of complaints, that is so full of negativity and so full of comparisons. We'll always think and wish that we had what the others have, and when we don't want to change ourselves or our current situations. Let's talk about some circumstances or some phases in life where we find we need a change in. Like for example, in terms of career, at some point we feel we need to get out of our unemployment state because we've been there for so long. We need to get a job, or we need an upgrade from our current job, or we need to exit the job that we want to go and start our own businesses. But probably what is tying us or making us to remain in that state that we are in and not progressing forward to what we want, maybe we need to work on some small aspects like time management. Maybe you can't be able to work on a task within the required time frame, and you tend to take so long to work on it, or you are not disciplined such that you can't push through a task up to the end of it. You're You're given a task, and what you can do is do a quarter of the task, and the rest of it you just complain how much work you've been given and how hard it is. You can't do it, or basically you can't be able to take instructions correctly and effectively. You're given a task, but you do it the way you want. Maybe you need a change in terms of your financial state. You need to become financially stable, but you are just full of excuses about how much less of money you are earning at the moment, and you're not willing to change. Maybe you are living standards to accommodate what you have. You are not in a position to manage the little that you have to cater for all your expenses, to pay your rent, to buy food, and to have little left for savings. Financial stability starts with the mindset of us managing the little that we have in order to accommodate our living standards and live and leave little for saving. That is how we that is the first step of gaining financial stability, because when we get that much, then we can be able to adjust and live according to it. Otherwise we're just going to squander it. Probably you may be feeling the urge to start your spiritual journey, or to upgrade your spiritual well-being, or to get back on track because you may feel spiritually weak, but you're not willing to learn how to read the Bible. You're not willing to open that Bible and read one or two verses a day, or at least a chapter a day. You're not willing to learn how to do a fast, because fast strengthens your spiritual well-being, and you're not willing to surrender to God's will, even when God's will is not according to our own will. It's something that is hard, but you have to train your mind to accept the outcomes of God. When we present our request, or when we present our prayers to God, we should be in a position where we set our minds and our souls in a neutral state, such that if God answers our prayers, will be so much okay. But even if God doesn't answer our prayers according to how we expect, we still remain faithful to Him. You need to first change that attitude. You need to first get that mindset of having a neutral mind, so that your spiritual well-being will not be filled with frustrations and depressions and feelings of wanting to give up and feeling like God doesn't like you, or God doesn't love you. You might also be wanting a change in terms of your physique or your physical fitness, but you are not in a position to let go of the junk food. You're not willing to show up consistently into the gym, and you're not willing to feel that sweat within your body. You want good body and physical fitness to find you at the comfort of your couch in your house. You want six pack and a good figure to find you seated at the comfort and tell you, okay, you are wishing for six pack. Here I am. You must accept the change, and you must wake up, wear those gym clothes, and show up to gym every day. The last aspect that I will talk about, that is so common to majority of us. There are so many instances or so many phases in life that we feel like we need change, but I just talk about a few. Is there are some point we get to certain point in life when we feel like we want to be in stable relationships that leads to stable marriages, but we are consistently or constantly making mistakes that we don't sometimes we don't realize that we need to get out of them, but sometimes we also know we are making them, and we're not willing to change that. The biggest mistake being, we idolize the issue of relationships or marriages. We idolize the partners that we want to be in. We take them like a small God. We put them in the position where God needs to be, and we put them there. We take them like a small God that we worship, such that if anything goes wrong in that relationship, it will leave us feeling empty, frustrated, depressed, and some people end up committing suicide. So, in order to avoid that, you need to first change your mentality, such that you need to first stop idolizing the aspect of marriage and idolizing the aspect of idolizing your partner that you want to be with in life. Instead, you put God first. Then you yourself and your partner should also affected and make the mistakes of comparison. We look at someone else having their own stable and good relationship, or being in a good marriage, and that is what we want. And if we don't get what we are seeing, we end up feeling frustrated and negative about ourselves instead of just accepting us where we are, accepting that maybe they took some time, they took a process for them to get there, but we want what they have at that instant. So first we need to change that attitude of comparison. We also need to first cultivate self-love within ourselves so that we can be able to accommodate the other person. Do you know that you can't give what you don't have? When you don't have self-love filled within yourselves, you can't be able to pour it out to the people around you. So you need to first change that aspect, develop your own self-love. Self-love starts with small things like wanting to be in a good environment, treating yourself well, taking yourself on solo dates alone, cooking for yourself some good food, like the way you would want to treat the other person. First, treat yourself that way. With that, you can be able to pour that love out to the other person. And also, they need to be emotionally stable, such that you be in a state of mind where you can recognize that we are two different kinds of people that have been brought up in different backgrounds. We all have different opinions, different thoughts about everything, and just coming to terms that your opinions don't have to be the opinions that are taken, and everything is just but a compromise between the two of you for this to work out. Enough of the stories. Basically, every change requires you to leave behind some negative aspects of your life. When you've slowly worked on yourself, on improving yourself, on becoming a better person and a better version of yourself, you'll realize some aspects of your life when you start living that era of excuses, the era of comparison, and the era of complaint. You'll start realizing some changes in your life. Some changes just small, like you'll feel like you need a complete change of environment. Change of environment maybe in terms of you feel like you need to change your circle of friends. You will start realizing that you've been having toxic friends. You'll also realize you need a change in terms of maybe you can move houses, move places, or just change the house that you live in, become more organized. And when you're becoming a better person or an improved version of yourself, you'll start slowly enjoying your own company. You start You'll find yourself in situations where you are alone and you don't feel lonely. You don't feel like you need company to complement you or to complete you. You'll also start feeling some kind of inner peace within your heart, within yourself. You'll start feeling so much peaceful with the kind of a person that you're becoming. The new person that you're becoming is making you feel so peaceful. You'll also start feeling the difference, and you'll start wondering what kind of a desert or a jungle you've been living in that is so full of negativity and so full of negative vibes. You'll stop eating the older version of yourself. You'll slowly by slowly start working towards improving yourself better and better. And with time, with all these changes, you'll start feeling even more self-love within yourself and a lot of love from within. Start treating yourself with some good things. Buy yourself good shoes, buy yourself good clothes. The way you would treat someone who you can consider special to you, first treat yourself that way. Do you know that if you are to take 1 week to work on one negative aspect of your life, or let's say 1 month to work on one negative aspect of your life, in 1 year you'll have worked on 12 aspects of your life. If in 1 month you work on your excuses, the next month you work on your complaints, the next month you work on your comparison, you by the end of the year, by the end of the 12 months, you'll have removed 12 negative aspects of your life. And all these things are just filled with self-love and positivity, and you'll find yourself moving forward. You'll even start hating your older version of yourself. You'll even hate going back to the kind of person you are that is so full of negativity and so full of complaints and excuses and comparing your life. You'll realize that life is basically a race that everyone runs their own kind of race. There They have their own pace, they have their own lane. And with that, you'll just be so much comfortable in your own space, and you'll find yourself attracting uh, the kind of people that you've become. If you become more positive, you'll start attracting more positive people in your life. I'm sending you all my love, hugs, as you choose to become a better version of yourself. Accept that it will not be easy, it will be so uncomfortable, it will come with a lot of compromises, but it's okay. When you feel low, when you feel sad at yourself, just encourage yourself that one day when you work on your negative part today, tomorrow you'll be rejoicing. As you work on becoming a better version of yourself, I wish you all the best. Until next time, take care and God bless you. Dorothy Moseo signing out. Bye.